a few. I've got a few friends. I've got a few friends. Both of these sentences are grammatically correct, but the meaning is quite different. Let's look at the first example. I've got a few friends. The total number of something is small. It means I've not got many friends. Use with countable nouns only. Let's look at the second example. I've got a few friends. A few, we're not talking about the number. A few is a category of something. It's got a similar meaning to some. Use with countable nouns only. Let's practice. I've got to get a few things at the supermarket. Very few people can afford to pay those prices. There are few people waiting at the back door. I've got a few problems with my new computer. We get few complaints. Like or as. Like your dad, I'll try to help you. As your dad, I'll try to help you. Both of these sentences are grammatically correct, but the meaning is quite different. Let's look at the first example. Like your dad, I'll try to help you. The preposition like means similar to. Like your dad, I'm not your dad, but I want to act in a similar way. Let's look at the second example. As your dad, I'll try to help you. As your dad, I'll try to help you. I actually am your dad. Used to say what duty someone or something has. Let's practice part 1. You're like your brother. You're like your brother. A team should be like a family. A team should be like a family. Your dad sleeps like a pig. Your dad sleeps like a pig. Your hair's dark brown like mine. Your hair's dark brown like mine. Let's practice part 2. He's the same age as me. He's the same age as me. Do as I say. Do as I say. It's not as good as it used to be. It's not as good as it used to be. She works as waitress. She works as waitress. Be careful using like and as because the meaning can change. Borrow or lend. I lent you the car for a week. I borrowed the car for a week. Both of these sentences are grammatically correct, but the meaning is quite different. Let's look at the first example. I lent you the car for a week. First, I've got a car, and I give it to you for a week. To give something that you've got to somebody for a short time. You cannot give something that you've not got. Let's look at the second example. I borrowed the car for a week. First, I have not got a car, and I ask somebody to give me for a week. To ask someone to give you something that you've not got. To use something that belongs to someone else for a short time. Let's practice part 1. She doesn't like lending pencils to me. She doesn't like lending pencils to me. If you need an umbrella, I can lend you one. If you need an umbrella, I can lend you one. I lent my car to my sister and I've not got it back yet. I lent my car to my sister and I've not got it back yet. Could either of you lend me £10? Could either of you lend me £10? Let's practice part 2. Can I borrow £50 from you until next month? Can I borrow £50 from you until next month? She used to borrow money and not bother to pay it back. She used to borrow money and not bother to pay it back. Can I borrow your pen for a minute? Can I borrow your pen for a minute? I borrowed a novel from library. I borrowed a novel from library. Try to do or try doing. I tried to bake an apple pie. I tried baking an apple pie. Both of these sentences are grammatically correct, but the meaning is quite different. Let's look at the first example. I tried to bake an apple pie. Try to do is about making an effort. This is an encouragement to do something that may be difficult to do. Look at the first picture. Oh no, kitchen is on fire. What have you done? I've not done anything. I just tried to bake an apple pie. I made an effort. Look at the second picture. What on earth is this? I just tried to paint the wall. I made an effort. Let's look at the second example. I tried baking an apple pie. To experiment with a solution to solve a problem. To do it with the intention of finding out what will happen when you do it. Your purpose was not to see if you will succeed or fail. What are you doing? The door gets stuck. I try shaking the doorknob. I just want to see if that would open it. To experiment with a solution. The door still gets stuck. I try hitting it with a hammer. To experiment with a solution. A hammer? How much does a door cost? Let's practice part 1. My boyfriend tries to control me. My boyfriend tries to control me. I tried everything to lose my weight. I tried everything to lose my weight. My daughter was trying not to cry. My daughter was trying not to cry. My dad pinched his nose and tried hard not to sniff. My dad pinched his nose and tried hard not to sniff. Let's practice part 2. Why don't we try living in London for a while? Why don't we try living in London for a while? Try using a different soap. Try using a different soap. Try logging off and logging on again. Try logging off and logging on again. You should try getting up earlier before school. You should try getting up earlier before school. Good or well. I speak very good English. I speak English very well. Both are correct and both have the same meaning, but have a slightly different meaning. Let's look at the first example. I speak very good English. Good is describing English, which is a noun. Let's look at the second example. I speak English very well. Well is describing speak, which is a verb. Well goes after the verb. I speak good English would be more common to describe a non-native English speaker who has the ability to express themselves in English. I speak English well has more of the meaning of speaking with eloquence. Let's practice part 1. She's not good at making things. She's not good at making things. You've done a good job. You've done a good job. Did you have a good time at the party? Did you have a good time at the party? I've got a good news for you. I've got a good news for you. Let's practice part 2. You don't look very well. You don't look very well. Did you sleep well? Did you sleep well? My mum doesn't work well under pressure. My mum doesn't work well under pressure. You played very well today. You played very well today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like my video, you can help support me making my next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel English Apple and hit the bell. See you later.